Hi everyone. How's it
Hi.
going?
Hello,
Hey
hello.
Amanda. How's it going? How's it going? We'll give everybody a few seconds to get on here. If
Yeah,
you are on Facebook and you want to join us here in our Zoom room, the link's posted.
I have my Facebook up too, so I can read the
Do
comments.
you? Awesome. Guess what, y'all?
Good thinking, Marty.
This is our last Together Tuesday session for a few weeks. Welcome, welcome everybody. You're on live. I'm excited to have you here. We're all excited to have you here. Welcome everyone to Together Tuesdays with AMCSI. This meeting is being recorded and also streamed live on Facebook. So if you missed tonight's episode, you can rewatch it here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel at AMC Sport. Tonight, I am joined by our AMCSI team members, Executive Director Maria Chajabski, and our graphic production artist and Together Tuesday moderator, Ted Hauser, and of course, our special guest tonight, Marty Sheedy. Exciting, exciting. Um, Thank you, everyone who is joining us via Zoom. Amanda, hello, hello, and everybody that's going to be joining us live via
Hello.
Facebook. So of course we're so excited to welcome Marty Sheedy. He's an adult with arthrogryposis from Detroit. Is it Detroit in the house?
Ooh.
And of course the founder and executive director of the Project Scissor Gait Foundation. Marty, we're so very thankful for you and all you do for our AMC community. And so glad that you joined us here for Together Tuesdays, especially after your whirlwind, exciting trip to California that we cannot hear all about or cannot wait to hear all about. So we're excited. We're excited to hear your journey with arthrogryposis, the Project Scissor Gait Foundation, and of course all of your adventures with your new business. What is it? The Alpha Omega Staff?
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, Marty.
All right. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you guys so much for having me, and all of you. Such an honor to be a part of this After They Post this family. My journey kind of started with AMCSI way back when it was a message board. Way before Facebook, and I started doing research in high school about arthrophosis, and I found the message board and found the community and started chatting, and I built and found a family that I never thought I would have, and it's been a pretty powerful. How many years now since Dublin, honey?
Since Dublin, wow.
That was
Okay, so that would be
the third one.
1919, the third one.
Yeah. So the
So
one.
17 years ago. 17, 16,
Wow.
17 years ago. Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, 17 years ago. That wow. It's flying by. Um,
Yes.
I was born with osteoporosis, obviously. I had club feet when I was born, and I had surgery to straighten them out. I had scoliosis, so they put a metal rod in my spine to straighten that out. My hips are dislocated out of socket. So instead of walking straight legged, I learned when I was a child to walk squat legged to have more mobility. All of the hospitals and things in the Detroit area gave my mom and dad no hope. They said they wouldn't really be able to help me, and just not a good prognosis. So the wonderful Shriners Hospital that a lot of our community knows about, I attended in Chicago, and they were the ones that did all of my orthopedic surgeries and got me walking, and they were the ones that said, you just keep walking the way you do, and you just live life that way instead of trying to fix it and make me walk the right way.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how I have and was affected with arthritis. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a little bit about the backstory about me and the condition. But then I've always had a sense, like years ago, that there wasn't a lot of information and stuff, obviously, about arthritis 17, 18, 19 years ago.
Mhm.
So kind of the first part of the journey was I wanted to just raise awareness. So I wanted to just talk about arthritis. I would do speeches and schools, and just kind of share what it was everywhere I went. And one time I had a light bulb idea that and this was long before I really knew about the community and how we were all affected differently. But the beginning idea was if my walk could help me, maybe there was someone else in the world that the walk may be able to help. So I created my first website. It was, I think, martysheedy.com. Uh, and it was an AOL hometown page with a counter and one of those like really inexpensive Best Buy digital cameras. And I did a video and I sent it to a lot of doctors and I would just search orthopedic doctors and all over and just sent it that way. Not kind of knowing what would happen. And then years down the road, after I really learned more about how we're all affected differently, I'm like, okay, well, then that might not work for everybody the way I walk. So I met actually the director of development at Shriners Hospital in Chicago at the time. His name was Bob Kotner, and he was like, hey, if you kind of change things around, you should create a nonprofit. Uh, and that's how the nonprofit kind of started. And so I came home, was really excited, there was a lawyer friend who tried to do it one way and it didn't really work. And so it took years to
Mhm.
actually like develop and build that. But then
Mhm.
I found a friend and her name is Marianne, and she was like, "Oh, well, there's a way that we can do it this way, and I can have it done in like 2 months." I was like, "Whoa, what?"
Nice.
So after years of like that, it all kind of developed, and then I found ways to actually like be able to help out in certain ways and continue to raise awareness while getting funding and but then doing specific projects. So that's kind of how the foundation began. But before that, I knew that the guys with the red feathers were the ones that helped me, and I really wanted to join them.
Mhm.
So right out of high school, I became a Freemason and then became a Shriner, because you have to be a Freemason to become a Shriner.
Mhm.
So then that's kind of how the nuts evolution of being able to dip back. Because I've always felt that I knew my puppets in some way to help people in whatever capacity that is or was. So that's kind of how all of that started.
That's a great story. I mean, it's amazing how coming through, like building the foundation and being able to help so many people through it and teaching others with your good version of arthrogryposis and helping those and giving them insights. I mean, because you never know with this condition who you're going to help just by showing how you do things. And
Right.
and it's just an amazing story, Marty, and that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And Meet's a perfect example of that because I've been able and so blessed to be able to be on the road with her in some aspects and to like really see that. And there's a lot of people affected like the same way as Misa, and to like, actually see that it's unbelievable. And it's pretty pretty powerful stuff. And then I'll never forget, it was in Jacksonville, Florida, when I started attending the also they posted conferences again, and it hit me so hard. And at the end, I'm like, Annie, what can my foundation do to really be able to help on like a big level? And she was like, oh, well, if your foundation would be able to pay the registration fees for the conference for the AMCs, that would be a huge help. So through the power of thought and manifestation and hard work through networking and different aspects, the following year I was able to do it.
Not to mention Kid Rock.
And that's kind of how it happened. Like within a year, I built a relationship with Kid Rock and his foundation, and he donated $10,000, but it was $5,000 the first time to the foundation. And it was because of that that I messaged Johnny and like, hey, we did it. And that year, the next year, we were able to help with the registration fees. And that made my heart so happy because within a year of doing that, and not to say in Jacksonville, Florida, is when I was able to meet Misa too. So
Mhm.
there was a lot of energy and a lot of magic that happened that year. And then I'm like, okay, if we can do it 1 year, maybe we can do it again. So then Tidwat had his shows and built that relationship, and he donated again the following year, and we were able to do it 1 more year after that. And then because of him, I was able to meet Jimmy John's, the owner of Jimmy John's, at Tidwat's house. And he came up to me and was like, oh, well, how can like we help you? And I'm like, well, I was able to do this for 2 years in a row, pay the registration fees. And then he donated, and all of that money was able to help do it 3 years in a row. So that was why that's one of the biggest blessings that I could say or have been a part of, because I knew like that $50 or whatever the registration fees were at that time, uh, it's a lot for AMCers, and some people can't attend just because of that. So to be able to do that was pretty awesome.
Absolutely. It made such a difference, Marty, for so many that attended those years that you were able to sponsor. And I know we've had this conversation, over and over again, that you can do it again. I know you. I know your connections, your network. Everybody loves you. Everybody appreciates you, especially at conference. There, you see Marty scooting around with the kids playing, or running up to everybody with your arms wide open for hugs. So we definitely, appreciate all your efforts to fundraise for those conference registration fees. I know it makes a difference to so many. So yeah, absolutely. Hey, Misha on Facebook.
Hi, Mita. Hi,
Her
everyone.
ears, her ears were probably burning. That's what happened.
Probably so.
She felt that cord.
Yeah, she just sensed you, and
She
yeah.
did. The universe works in
Read
such
that.
an amazing way.
Yeah.
Hey Marty, I'd love to hear about your journey with your kidney transplant. I know a lot of people don't know about that and how that has impacted your life. And I know it's an emotional journey for you, obviously. But it's a story to tell because it's so important to your journey to where you are now, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 7 years ago in June that I had the transplant, and I have another condition called prune belly syndrome. So prune belly syndrome, it's a lack of abdominal muscles that affects everyone completely differently, like osteoporosis does. And people are affected in all different areas with it, like urology wise. And my kidney was healthy for all the time and had no really inclinations that it would like go bad. But poof, sometimes the journey changes. And uh, I found out that the kidney was starting to fail, and but then we took all the precautions and did everything that I was able to. Did a fistula put in before, just in case if I needed dialysis. And so my friend, my friend Drew, who I've known even before that for the past 10 or 11 years, uh, me and him are connected on like another level, just kind of like me and Mika on that soul journey. And he was the first person to get tested. I had other family members like Ruddy and Willen, and uh, he was at the time a perfect match. And I had the surgery. Well, yeah, he was a perfect match. So then we had everything ready. The surgery was supposed to be, it was going to be in January. I did texted, me and him both did texted 2 weeks before. And in true Marty fashion, I turn into a mutant. And my antibodies change. So that was kind of like shocking because I was so mentally ready and prepared for the transplant that I was just ready to go. So because the antibodies change, Drew was no longer a match for me, which it only happens very rarely, but it does. But later down the road, you'll see why in true Marty fashion, it was able to help more people. But so Drew was so ready and willing to donate the kidney as well. There's a program called paired donation. And so paired donation is Drew's kidney went to a guy in Georgia, and that guy's fiance, but no, went to a lady in Georgia, and that lady's fiance matched me, and that kidney went to me. So it's kind of like a swap. And at the time, I didn't need dialysis before, but then I was ready and it had everything. So after January, I did need dialysis for a few months while the waiting process was to match. But then June 2nd of that following year, I had the transplant and I am healthy. And like I was saying, my purpose in life is helping people. So even though I was really disappointed that it didn't work out the right way, the transplant coordinator came in as I was leaving and told us that because that happened, there were 7 other people that were able to receive kidneys because it's like a chain in a computer system. So because the 4 of us were taken out, it connected 7 other people to the kidneys. So that it's been great. So it's been 7 years now, and I'm fully healthy, and I really, really take care of the kidney. I drink lots of water. I do everything that I can to really keep it going, and I don't take the second chance for granted, and that's why I'm always living life to the fullest. And when I have the opportunity and chance to travel, I do, and all of these things because, yeah, the second chance at life is for a reason, and I'm not gonna let it pass me by.
Absolutely.
He's
Marty, I
such
had
an inspiration.
yes. I had a wonderful time visiting you in Michigan and meeting your parents and getting to know them more on a personal level. And we discussed a little bit about the parents' impact on last week's Together Tuesdays with our group of adult AMCers. And I would love to hear, I know you couldn't make Together Tuesdays, so I would love to hear the impact your parents had on your life and all that they mean to you, because I know that they're so important and they're important to our community as well. I mean, they do a lot of outreach and hugging as well at conference. So would love to hear your perspective of how they impacted your life.
Yeah, I just that support and just always being there. It's huge when you're able to have that support. Like at all of my surgeries or all of my treatments, it was either my mom or my dad or always someone spent the night and never left my side. And uh, it's so important to when someone has a disability to have that family support, and not just like my grandma was a huge part of my life too, because my mom and dad were able to work, and my grandma came over every day to like help watch me or put me on the bus. So that it's a huge thing. So I'm so thankful to have the parents that I do and I have, because yeah, family support, it's really good when you have any sort of disability or condition. And I'm very thankful for mine, and I love that that's so much a part of the community, and they love all of our AMC so much. And yeah, like you said, my dad will hug and my mom, everyone like and it's cool because everyone's like, hey, is your dad coming? Is your mom coming? So it
Absolutely.
really special. I
Absolutely.
have a really powerful bond. They support me in every way in all of my crazy adventures and endeavors. And, and but in the beginning though, I did have to do some pushing, like, hey, I can do this, but hey, it's okay, like let me know. I have my friends to help me, and but it's because of that love, and that's why
Mhm.
I was never like puts them away, or because I understood that everything that they did, they did it with love, because they had to do so much to get me here and to keep me healthy.
Absolutely.
Uh, I always understood that aspect of things.
Absolutely. And we had the opportunity to also take a ride with Marty when we were visiting Abby and I. And Marty showed us his cool car with all of his adaptations. And if you go onto our YouTube or Facebook, we do have a cool video of Marty sharing how he drives. And of course, if you are an adult with AMC and you have, some independent skills that you want to show our community, please send us your video because it's so important to see the many ways that our AMCers are just living their best life out in the community. So Marty, share with us your future goals for the Project Scissor Gait Foundation. I know you did a live recently and shared with everybody. So you have a different audience now.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like during COVID, I mean, obviously all nonprofits and things have like been hard with fundraising, and then I also took some time to learn like a new healing skill and other things. So I kind of took a small break from the foundation to just kind of other personal endeavors that I followed, but I'm so excited to announce that we have our care package program, our newborn care package program running again. Before it was an idea that we started where we had like a tote bag and we would put in supplies for parents of newborns that are either in the hospital or at home, and we provide either a $25 or $50 Visa gift card. So that can help with like a tank of gas or a cup of coffee or some food expenses that you might need. We add some toiletry items. Someone donated some handmade blankets that we put in, and we are coloring books, and we send those out to people. So that's kind of like our first program, and then getting back out there for the osteoporosis and Frimbley community. So I'm really excited, and it's been awesome to talk to Annie and Ted and to figure out like new ways to promote that and to really get it out to families that are in need. So yeah, that's kind of the next thing. And then when I go back to California, like you just said, we gotta manifest me some other people out there that have financial connections that like to make donations. So then we could do it again. So everyone send your energy.
Absolutely. Yes. And there is if you are a new parent with a child just recently diagnosed with arthrogryposis, or if you're in the hospital in the NICU, please visit our website. We do have a form on there. It's on the main page, and we'll connect you with Marty. And it's a great collaboration to have to be able to welcome our new families into the community with such a beautiful gesture from Marty and his team at Project Scissor Gait Foundation. So that's awesome, Marty. We're excited.
I'm so happy to be able to like dip that down again, because it
Yes.
was kind of powerful that on again the magic of Mitzvah's road trips. I was with them. I flew into Utah, and then we hit Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado. And one of the
Mhm.
families that we met in Colorado, Karen Seidler's family, which I didn't even realize, but that was one of the families that we sent a care package to. And the child, I think, was like 3 or 4. And it blew me away because until she mentioned it to me, I had no idea. So that was pretty powerful to experience and to know firsthand how much it meant to them. And now that they're a part of the community, and it it's really cool.
Absolutely.
That's like going back on another part of Pizza's road trip and talking about meeting someone that walks like me, it was the first trip I did with them when I was able to do the month with them. And we were at Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia. And
Mhm.
there's a Renee Donahue, shout out Renee, she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
the one that told me there's a guy named Nick Bradley, and he is an adult with AMC, and his hips are dislocated, kind of like mine. And when he walks fast, he walks later. And it blew me away. And there's a video somewhere out there of us running around trying to hospital in Philadelphia, walks later. And at that moment, like everything came full circle because the whole kind of reason was starting Project Scissor Gait because I like Scissor Gait Foundation's named because I bought like a pair of scissors, and then GAIT is the medical term for walking. So that's why I named it the Scissor Gait Foundation. So to actually be able to run around the person with osteoporosis that postulated was the ultimate thing for me personally because that's where it all began. That's where it all started.
That's awesome. Love that. Marty, everybody in last week's Together Tuesday shared a little bit about, we had a question from our audience, and they wanted to know, what, especially for our teen audience, we usually have a good amount of younger viewers as well, or parents will show them later. But if you could, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh wow. Just know that things get better, and yeah, we'll probably have a lot of operations and surgeries like young. That's in the majority of us have our most, and yeah, it will be hard being down and out for some time, but just understanding that it's for the greater good and to help with maybe less pain or more mobility, and to just, if you have a dream or a goal or some sort of vision of whatever it is you want to do, whether it be a job or a drive or some sort of project, and just never stop doing that. Like, and just follow your passion, whatever it is, with 100%. And it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, it might take 20 years, but
Mhm.
keep doing it and just step by step and step, and try not to get ahead of yourself too much, and just kind of follow a simple step by step, and but just never give up, and know that you have a whole community here that's willing to support you. If you are going through anything mentally, like you can reach out to so many adults, and to reach
Mhm.
out to Annie and the team, and just know that you have so many people that love you, even if you don't feel like you do because of certain situations. There's a lot of love, and that's what I would tell myself.
I have a question for you, Marty, that may interest some people as well, because we all find our own path, right? And you found yours somewhat serendipitously. Um, what would you say to those out there who are equally passionate with helping others, or who have a passion regardless of what that may be, and they're paralyzed or in the sense of scared and fearful of taking that first step, which happens to everybody. It's not just for AMCers, but there's an extra fear and anxiety that comes when you have a condition like this one. So you were able to push through, break through all kinds of glass ceilings and any other kind of ceilings and through doors and create your own path to success, to the extent that you're fully independent, you make a living, you have great opportunities ahead. What would you say to those out there in the community who would like to consider entrepreneurship or nonprofit as a career for themselves and they're just fearful of taking that first step? What would you say to them?
Um, I I would say to talk to other people in that field, because everything that's happened, that I learned from other people. So it hasn't been me that just created all of that. I reached out to so many people for help, for questions. Um, that's that. Find the people in your field, and what you want to do, and to talk to them and try to gain experience. And even there's a lot of times that people, like, you don't get paid for things, and that's okay. And just building that experience in that way. And yeah, things can be fearful, but yeah, just knowing people in the whatever field it is, just reach out to them, because a lot of people want to help and give you advice. And that's what helped me become less fearful in what I want to do and what I want to do.
And it's never too late to get started because you were telling us before we kicked off the meeting that you're pursuing some new opportunities in a different state and making new contacts. So it's not a matter of if you don't start young, the opportunities are no longer there. You can still create opportunities and have it be exponential and have it take a path of its own, a path of discovery that can be very fulfilling and enriching in many ways.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can be 35, 40, 50. Age is only a number. And yeah, don't let that stop you from, like, oh, it's too late for me to do this. I mean, sometimes you see older people didn't know the degrees when they're 60, 65, or even the awesome ones that are like 80 and like, hey, I got my degree.
That is true.
Yeah, it's never ever too late, and you can always begin to make inner changes at any time. And if you get step back and something happens, just start over and try again, and don't let that be like, oh, I messed up, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, just don't let the self-talk get in your head and affect you negatively. It's just get up and try again, and try again, and try again, and just keep throwing things at the wall, and one day something's gonna stick, and no matter how long that takes.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for, thank you for that. Annie and I were talking yesterday about um, career opportunities and some other things that we can bring to the AMC community, but we don't necessarily talk about entrepreneurship or nonprofit or pursuing a passion project, whatever that may be. So I love how you talk about anytime, anywhere, any age, follow your passion. But there's something also that's very unique about you in that you're fearless. You will approach just about anyone and ask a question and be open to receiving whatever they have to share. So that ability of yours, whether it's innate or one that you developed over time, that comfort approaching people and engaging with people, has also served you quite well because you build quite the network, and which is what's allowing you to travel and make new connections and look at your wall, continue to get credentials and improve yourself as a person and have that much more that you're able to give back to society and the AMC community. So anyhow, I think you're just an inspiration all around.
Well, thank you. I'm just me being me, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and taking that one scissor step at a time, as I tell her.
That's awesome, Marty. Marty, tell us about, I know for those who have attended our annual conferences, they have seen you as a vendor multiple times, whether it is promoting Project Scissor Gait Foundation or your Alpha Omega self. Tell us about a little bit about your business and how it's going and
Yeah, and
what's
that's another thing I had to like kind of learn too, because for a long time, and a lot of us are on Social Security or some form of SSDI or SSI. So I was always afraid too of financially, how can I do something bitter and not have that affect me, because the most important thing for a lot of us is medical insurance. So if you lose that, then that's a huge, huge thing. So I was lucky and I met a person, her name is Doris, and she owns a company called Life on Purpose. uh, she helps people with disabilities through the mixed and rehabilitation services, kind of like find their way either through entrepreneurship or in a job. And I kind of had the idea and basic things when I met her. So I was one of the 3 people that she was able to run through an entrepreneurship program. And she connected me with another mentor who helps me figure out the like to actually be able to have a LLC, but then have it work out where it doesn't affect the SSDI and
Mhm.
things, because then you can use the LLC for certain things and then use that money at the end of the year. So then it goes down and it just helps with things. So there are certain ways around that to help. So I created, I've always been interested in alternative healing and natural healing. That's been something that my grandma taught me and was a huge part of her life as well. And so I've always worked with essential oils. I mean, I used to work with a lot of crystals and different things, and always felt that that helped benefited my life in certain ways. So I developed uh actually how it all kind of began was during COVID. We were cleaning out my mom's basement and found a recipe that I'd actually created in high school
Hmm.
of
okay.
pain relief from someone, from knowledge from another mentor of mine then. And so thankful for Amazon, I ordered the stuff and made my first batch, and it worked out kind of well. Then I kind of put it to the side for a little while. And then a few months later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring this back out. I created 30 samples and I put it out there for people to try, because I wanted non-family and like non-family to do like a real testimonial of what and how it would help. And actually the day before I was going to Italy, uh, I was able to get rid of all 30 of them. And I had wonderful, it was like a 75, 80% testimonial rate of like what in some form. And it's not gonna take the pain away, but it's like a natural Band-Aid icy without the chemicals. And so that's kind of how it started. Then with the help of Life on Purpose, they helped me form the LLC, then put me with another mentor to help with the like logistical business side of things. And I started going, and then I had the recipe kind of going right, and then it kind of like things weren't working out. It was kind of too draining. So then you always try to reinvent yourself, reinvent. And now I finally had the right recipe. So the base is shea butter, beeswax, aloe, and jojoba oil. And then it's a blend of like 7 or 8 different essential oils.
Nice.
That is good for different types of pain that I did research on. And yeah, it's called the alpha omega pain cell. And yeah, I was able to have the table at conference. And I tried, I probably think 3 times that weekend because parents were coming up to me saying how much it was helping the child and adults, like Heather Coffee, and their daughter Mira, they put it on that morning or that, and it took the pain away, and he was able to walk like all day with no pain, and nothing else was able to help. And then our Rosalind, Rosalind tried it, and she kept telling her mom, this, I don't need any more meditation. This
Nice.
other than this. And I tried,
Aw.
and it was
Yeah.
really powerful because I created it for everyone, but knowing now the true purpose of helping out, that maybe it was meant more for our community, and obviously it's helping other people and it's starting to spread more and more, but it in true fashion, like, okay, this is another avenue that my soul is able to help people. And it's now I had a new label. I got the website fully working, and I'm like full force trying to get it out there. And today I was working all day. I made like 70 of them, and
That's
because
awesome.
going to California then, and so I'm trying to make as many as I can, because when I was in LA, me and my friend walked by a shop and it looked like they had a bunch of like natural products. So we walked in, like, oh wow, this is cool. So I talked to the lady, the owner at the time, which I didn't know, about how I could get the product in there. And she gave me her card and said, oh yeah, mail me a sample. So I had actually my mom mail me the sample, and I took it there. And on the day I was leaving, I did a message on Instagram, and she said that she loved it, and did the order 6 of them and had them in the shop.
That's awesome.
So it's
Yes.
really
Awesome. Chris shared that his essential oils can be great to use. I like some natural remedies as well. That's probably Chris Hartwick, I'm assuming. Marty, how does everybody find you online?
From well, the website is alphaomegahealing.com. For that, Project Scissor Gait Foundation. No, projectscissor.org is the foundation website. I kind of need to do some updates on that, but that will come in time. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I need to do TikTok a little bit more, but
Oh, that's a full-time job, Marty.
I like the slow, but I'm not one of those. I mean, I need to like dance around in my underwear or something. I don't know.
Understand. Totally, totally. All right, Maria, take us away with your final thoughts for this evening.
Well, I think all of you guys, the support group is so powerful, so wonderful. If you're just joining and you haven't attended conference, really, really, really try. You can do personal fundraisers, maybe ask for help from family or friends, show them videos, just try to find a way to get there. And because it is one of the most fulfilling things if you had the condition to be a part of. And I'm so lucky I found this group 17 years ago. And it's a family that I never thought I would have. And every year I will try to be there for as long as possible. Because it's filled with love, it's filled with knowledge. And yeah, I thank you and Annie. The little door on the white dress. That's
Yes, Abby. Misa says, we love you, Sheedy.
oh Mita. That's I love her too. I'm so thankful. Yeah, we were connected on a soul level, and I'm thankful to have been part of a lot of her journeys, and I gotta try to manifest to continue going on the next part of her trip.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite photos from the conference is one of you and Misha hugging on the dance floor.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of the most genuine, most beautiful, and of course she's all dressed up. You both dressed up, but yeah, one of the true love between you two siblings,
Yeah,
from the soul for sure.
yeah. And Michael,
Um,
I think you can't forget about Michael. We're just as connected.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us today, Marty. You're such an inspiration for everybody, and in so many ways, in so many levels, not just your genuine soul, your creativity, and forward-thinking approach to not only life but entrepreneurship and looking at new opportunities to give back and connect with people. You really have a lot to teach all of us, no matter our age, and inspire us to continue that soul-searching process and journey that life is all about. You started the meeting by talking about how you were fundraising and helping the organization. And we touched on that last week. This is the last couple of weeks of the year. So we're certainly working on end of year giving. So for anybody out there, if you need help, reach out. If you would like to help, also reach out. This is a great opportunity to not only help us finish the year strong, but we still have grants available if you need assistance. So I know we got a couple going and some gifts that we're issuing already this week. So there's a back and forth that happens within the community and us. And the help is always welcomed and appreciated. Conference, it is a big celebration. It's a huge learning. It's a huge community coming together, but it's a huge celebration too. That dance floor, I could have collapsed with as much fun as everybody was having. But I also have to give credit to the many sponsors and AMC members who have their small businesses, who are also showcasing their products at the event. Not only is it helping us from the sponsorship, but it's helping you reach out to everybody in attendance, because we tend to see anywhere from 400 to 800 people at conference. So if that's something you like to do, I know it's done quite well for Marty as well. By the way, I still use your cell, I still have it. And it does work, I promise. And so a great opportunity for anybody who is launching a product, a hobby, a side business. So there's many different ways in which you can partner with us and vice versa. So reach out, ask questions, support, give back, and ask for help whenever needed. This is the season to do that. We do it year round, but this is certainly the month where we kick it up a few notches because we know people are in need. So memberships are coming up. Don't forget those if you have not renewed yet. Prices have stayed the same, so go ahead and get those booked right now. For those looking at conference, we have a packet that Annie and Ted put together. We wanted to make sure that anybody looking for sponsorships, they can book those now at this year's prices. So there's a lot of stuff that we've been pushing. So read our emails, read the newsletter. We have one more newsletter coming out before the end of the year. And if you have not subscribed, I promise you, you're missing out. So send your subscription, and there's a lot of information, including giveaways. So Ted, want to let us know about gifting, since we always
Oh,
close
but
out with a gift? Oh,
wait. We have to wish Ted a happy birthday.
we do. I didn't know he wanted to share.
Birthday
Happy birthday
Happy
to
Thank
you.
you.
to
Happy
Thank
you.
you.
birthday to
Birthday to
you.
you.
Happy birthday,
Birthday,
dear
dear
Ted.
Dad.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank
He's
you.
25.
Yes. Very.
All right,
Forever
Ted, close us
25.
out. Yes, thank you,
Well,
Marty, so much.
we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and thank you again, Marty. It was great listening to about everything about your foundations and how things got started. It was truly amazing stories and fantastic talking with you tonight. The secret word for tonight is mistletoe, and for the first person to email us that at info@amcsupport.org, we'll get some swag from our shop. The next Together Tuesday will be January 9th. We're taking the next 2 weeks off for the holidays, and we want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, or happy holidays and Happy New Year. And when we come back on the 9th, we're going to be joined by our AMC adults for another great conversation to start the new year. So with that, I want to say be safe and be strong, and happy holidays, folks. Bye.
Happy
Have a good
holidays,
night,
everybody.
everyone. Thanks,
Stay
Steve.
safe.
Bye, thank you
Bye,
so much.
Amanda. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you
Bye,
so much. Bye.
everyone.
See you soon.